The original Star Wars trilogy gave us some awesome designs for troopers beyond the standard Stormtrooper look. Personally, I love the look of Scout Troopers the most, but the Snowtrooper design is also very unique. And what I have in hand today is a Snowtrooper that's even more special because this is actually the Snowtrooper commander we briefly saw in The Empire Strikes Back. So his armor design is even more unique, and I'm very excited to take a detailed look at him as Hot Toys only released 3,000 units of him worldwide, and I was fortunate enough to get one. As you all know, all good unboxings start with the box, and this one is just another basic black Star Wars box. But we have a nice image of the figure up front, and I can already see his nostril cutouts. There's a chrome Sideshow exclusive sticker in the corner since only a limited number of units was made, and the wraparound banner is done in a nice blue color with Haas in the background showing the figure info. This is MMS 835. The banner also has another image of the figure giving maybe a peace sign or most likely just kind of pointing. The right side of the box has the rest of the banner with the figure info. The left side has another image of the figure in a battle ready stance. Then the back of the box just has a bunch of additional info. The top and bottom of the box just state Star Wars. Taking the top off the box, we can now see the artwork on the slipcover. This is just a figure giving that kind of pointing or peace sign pose, and I think in the background that's Haas, but it's kind of hard to tell because there's a bunch of snow in the way. Now we can get a preview of the figure inside. I need to take the plastic figure housing out because we need to get the top off and put this figure in my hands. But real quick, if you enjoy content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and hit the bell to be notified when new content goes live. Now, let's get into it. Taking him right out of the box, this figure is very white compared to a standard Snowtrooper, so hopefully the camera won't blow him out too much, but hopefully I adjusted it well. The helmet sculpt looks awesome. The eye lenses in those maybe goggles are a transparent green, and he has a sculpted face covering instead of a fabric or pleather one. And of course, the best part, the sculpted in nostrils on that covering. I don't know what he's going to be sniffing, but he can sniff. His chest armor is sculpted well with some details for his rank and then some additional details on there. These are painted red, gray, or black with his rank being in a red and blue color on top of a silvery chrome background. His arms look good, and luckily his undersuit is fabric, which is awesome for posing. He has some sculpted shoulder armor and gauntlets. He's also wearing some gray gloves with a separate forearm piece, and maybe it's accurate, but the glove and forearm pieces are actually two different grays, but just looking at it online, it looks like these should actually be the same color. So Hot Toys may be a little inaccurate here. Then his other forearm piece has what appears to be a communicator sculpted on it. His holster is white and unfortunately seems to be pleather. And then his belt region also has some other sculpted armor pieces with a chrome piece in the center right there. His hip skirts are fabric though, and unfortunately not wired, which would have been a nice addition. His boots are sculpted well, and to me they're colored kind of like a Hershey's cookies and cream bar if it was a little bit more gray, and then of course has a bunch of little black speckling in there. These have some sculpted tread underneath, and I'm very curious how good the articulation on these will be. The back of his helmet and back armor looks pretty good with some more sculpted and painted details. But let's see what accessories he gets, starting with the base. The chrome nameplate states Star Wars Snowtrooper Commander, and I actually like the dynamic nature of his base. The top is sculpted with snow texture that you can feel, and it's painted in a nice mix of white and light blue to kind of give a more convincing snow look. But of course his base is basically the Star Wars sand base other figures have, but this one's just kind of painted to look like snow instead of sand. We'll look at that in the comparison section. He gets a beautiful white crotch grabber with a chrome crotch grabber piece. This of course just pegs into the base. Now for the hands, and right out of the box he gets a pair of relaxed style hands, then a pair of closed fists, a pair of trigger finger hands, and a pair of open palm style hands where the left one is a bit more relaxed and the right one is that sort of peace sign type look, or maybe it's just a pointing style hand. The detail here is great with the white armor on top. Then the sections that would be fabric have lots of sculpted detail in there. This is painted in a light gray, which oddly doesn't match the forearm glove piece on the figure, which I mentioned earlier. He also gets a thermal detonator that looks good, but this one actually has some metal clips on the back so it can slot into the back of his belt. The E11 blaster also looks pretty good. The whole thing is mostly a gunmetal color, but it does have some nice metal-like detail on there with some minimal weathering. His other blaster is a DL44, which I believe is the same sculpt as that Return of the Jedi Han Solo's, but if my memory is correct, this one actually looks like it has some more details and weathering in there, but of course we'll just compare the two. Let's look at the articulation. The head has a bit of swivel and some forward tilt, but it's very restricted by the sculpted mask. His arms move out about 80 degrees. Surprisingly, there's no forward movement at all, but they do move back about 20 degrees. His elbows bend just over 90 degrees, and then there's a little bit of swivel in the upper bicep. There's no ab crunch or swivel for this figure, probably because of the armor. His legs move outward quite a bit, then forward about 70 degrees, but there is no back movement. However, the knees do bend well over 90 degrees. And of course, there's some swivel in his thigh. His feet have minimal tilt, and then also minimal forward and back movement. Now let's do the comparisons. I put the snow base next to Commander Cody's sand base, and you can definitely see the sculpt work here is identical. The only difference, of course, is the paint job. Comparing the DL-44 blasters with Hans on the right side and Snowtroopers on the left, these actually are quite a bit different. You can see that the sculpt work here is different, like the scope positioning and some little details on it. And yeah, as expected, the Snowtrooper's blaster even has some more weathering and additional scope detail inside there. But of course, Han's blaster still looks pretty good. Now I put the Snowtrooper with some other original trilogy troopers that I currently have in my collection. We have the Cherry Blossom Stormtrooper, which is another exclusive trooper that I love. The Scout Trooper, which is my favorite armor design, and of course a Shore Trooper, which is another cool trooper look. These all look great together, and let's just admire these beautiful original trilogy armor designs, although of course the Shore Trooper came a little bit later on, but it's from the same era. Now it's time to pose. For the first pose, I have the Snowtrooper drawing his DL-44 getting ready to start blasting at some unfortunate rebels. For the next pose, I have the Snowtrooper Commander using his E11 with the DL-44 in the holster. He's just using that semi-pointing hand, and this looks pretty cool. So, the Snowtrooper Commander. I really love this trooper. It looks awesome, and even when I get some Snowtroopers to go along with him, he's still gonna stand out. His suit is basically all white, so he's really gonna pop on the shelf even when he's surrounded by other figures, because even the Snowtroopers have a little bit of tan in there. Of course though, he is an exclusive figure that only had 3,000 units made worldwide, so not everyone's gonna be able to get this one for their collection. But if you can, and you have, because right now it's waitlisted on Sideshow, I'm pretty sure you're loving or will love this figure whenever it comes in. And if you just love the Snowtrooper look or original trilogy, especially if The Empire Strikes Back is your favorite Star Wars movie, you may want to try to track this one down for your collection because it is very unique and very cool. The design here is just really good and he just looks clean. There's honestly not many downsides here except maybe the glove color accuracy, but overall it's just another trooper by Hot Toys and they've made a ton of those. Because of that, it could be seen as a more basic release, but still I like it. So basically Hot Toys already has the necessities for these troopers locked in, and I am so excited to get in my display to command all my other troopers. But let's talk about the Snowtrooper Commander down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, definitely give it a like and hit subscribe for much more content like this. Check out another figure review in the playlist that'll pop up, maybe the Return of the Jedi Han Solo review, or even check out the collection tour. As always, thank you to the channel members. I look forward to talking to you all again very soon, but until next time, stay 6 scale.